My video for June the 1st, 2020 is video number 3472. The title is House Minority Leader Blasts Proxy Votes in Congress. I get things from friends all the time, videos to watch and messages to consider. I have even made lists of potential titles for my videos. And I share some things on my Facebook page for friends to consider. My YouTube subscribers do not get such notices. Anyway, I apologize if you have sent something my way and it does not get addressed in one of my daily videos. The one I am focused on for my first June video is about corruption in the U.S. House of Representatives. Yes, it seems people are being allowed to vote in Congress without even being there. In other words, these well-paid individuals are not doing their job, passing the buck while getting big bucks. Pardon the pun. This entire deep state operation of shutting down the economy and forcing people out of business is so insane. Suicides are way up. Fear porn is everywhere. This is just another con job by those who have been conning us all for a very long time. What will it take to wake people up? What will it take to get our Creator to do something that would demonstrate love in the 21st century? Who are the real demons? Questions. I have lots of them. Lots of them. And I raise them to God. Yes, I still pray every day. I still go through my periods of meditation and my devotions on a daily basis. That has not stopped for decades, folks. Decades. I've been at this thing since I was a boy. And as I became a teenager, I became aware of more things. I started thinking outside the box at an early age. I mean, I wasn't, but still in high school when I began running into ideas and people from other denominations in the churches that I was raised in, with perceptions that were different than what I was being told. And my minister would attempt to say, well, that's satanic, that's demonic. Don't pay attention to that. Well, I pay attention, or try to pay attention, to all that I can. I try to keep an open mind, but I understand, that is, I stand under the principle of love. Love to me is what God is supposed to be. God is love. God is light, and in him is no darkness at all. Oh, really? Oh, really? I create good and I create evil. They are alike unto me. That's the Bible I'm talking about. That's a quotation from the sacred scriptures. Something is wrong. Something that I missed and many other Christians have missed. And people of all the religions have missed the principal core, that the way that we establish ourselves as human beings, as being good and honorable beings, is by loving one another, which has nothing to do with religion, as I've said over and over and over and over again. The corruption in politics is not just in politics. It's in our places of worship. And it all derives from the demonic controllers who created the money game, where they would hold the wealth. In other words, the ability to say what's valuable and what isn't, thereby enslaving those that don't have whatever it is that the demonic element says is the value. In the 20th century and early part here of the 21st century, everything was fiat. Paper currency backed by nothing That's been going on since Nixon was in the White House. There's a lot of insanity. It's everywhere I look. And never has it reached the height of where it is now, where people are afraid to get close to one another. I mean, I had a friend having problems with his laptop in the lobby of the apartment building that I live in. And I went over to look at his computer, and the lady at the desk, who I thought was one of my friends, yelled at me and said, "You have to keep six foot away from him. You're too close." I looked at her and I said, "I'm trying to help him." She said, "You're too close. Move away." I apologized to the man and got on the elevator and came up to my room. This stuff is beyond insane. It is critically important that we understand that the riots that are happening all over the world, in Hong Kong, in Minneapolis, in Chicago, and in many other major cities, are being paid for and organized by people with the deep state agenda. George Soros and the money masters are at their normal game that they've been at, conning us for a very long time. They should be convicted. Con should be the short form of convict, and they need to be convicted for crimes against humanity. And so does our Creator, who has sat by for eons and allowed it to go on unaddressed. Whatever Jesus did 2,000, 2,100 years ago does not have relevance today if the same criminals are still operating their shenanigans, their deceptions. And it's going on, folks. It goes on everywhere. Thankfully, if you're listening to this and sharing it, you're waking up and you're trying to wake others up, as I'm doing. I'm trying to get people to think outside the box. We've all been given these little boxes that are supposed to contain the truth that somebody wants us to think is important. But the only truth that is important is, are you able to love? Are you willing to tell the truth when it's an uncomfortable truth? When the system seems to be against you and seems to try to be holding you in and suppressing you. That's what's happening with this shutdown, is people are being suppressed. And as I said, people are killing themselves because they don't see a way out. Religion does not have a way out. Politics certainly does not have a way out. Does humanity itself have a way out? That remains to be seen, as far as I can tell. It remains to be seen whether or not God will finally stop making excuses and getting us to look at something that happened a long time ago as being the answer to what's going on now. No, the problems we're facing now are because they were never addressed a long time ago. The buck was passed. The con game continued. And it's still continuing to this day. May the swamp be drained? I hope so. I root for Trump if that's indeed what he's doing, but it's a humongous task, and it will take God's help to lift humanity to a plane of existence where we can truly be blessed, and where we can truly find peace on earth, and where we can truly start loving one another. Thank you, folks, for listening, and namaste.